The Green Suiters podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our show, head over to patreon.com/Green Suiters podcast. Now, on to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
How good?
I think we should all just use Jason's NPR voice,
As you
like
guys
last
noticed,
episode.
As you guys, I didn't recognize, or I did not realize it. I listened to the episode and it sounded just fine.
I beg to differ.
Tonight, Leo actually might come upstairs and interrupt our podcast because it was a daycare day today. So of course, he slept from 1 to 3, which is like the worst thing ever. So he'll be awake till 9, I'm sure.
Oh man,
Nice.
It sucks.
Yeah, really sucks. Friday, we're going to keep him out of daycare, so he's crashes Friday night when Patrick and Michelle are here.
Sedge, did you guys take naps at festival?
Yeah, I get in there about 8 o'clock. I'm down around 8:30. And about
And then they wake up at
3:30.
noon to have beer
Nope.
during lunch because it's
Nope.
a German thing.
Nope, 3:30 I wake up, get in the car, about 4, head home.
Do you guys put your fatigue mats underneath the MFTs and that's where you take your naps?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I got a Costanza desk, and it's kind of nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
What's a Costanza desk?
Oh, come on.
I
It's
know
a
that's
desk that it has a hidden bed in there. And you remember the episode where when he was
He had
working for the
noises.
Yankees?
He had
his
noises like a typewriter or something like that.
his clock was ticking, and they thought there was a bomb in his desk. It was actually his alarm clock that he forgot. He went out for lunch or whatever. He came back, there was a bomb squad at his office. It was hysterical. Oh,
I actually have never watched a lot of Seinfeld.
You're not American.
man, you're not American.
No, I'm just not a weirdo.
Oh, no. Oh my God, Jerry Seinfeld alone is one of the best comedians ever. He's just so damn funny.
I've seen quite a few episodes, but it's just been so long. But
Yeah.
All right, here's the obligatory cat insertion.
I like
Hi,
that
kitty.
black cat. Hi, black cat. What's that?
She's been
What's that
Rue.
one's name?
Rue.
Who?
R-O-U-X. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
She's been ruining my my fatigue mats. She likes to come down
I
and
saw that in your
sharpen
stories.
her little claws on them.
Nice.
I saw that in your stories.
It's okay.
Hey, was that fun Friday night or what?
It was, man. That was. It's always fun.
Wow.
And
Hey,
That's
more.
right. We had the patron call. Yeah.
Did you set Michael and me up? Because we had separate invite. We
I-
were the
I
only
had
ones in that room.
I have no idea how that even happened. No idea.
At
I
one
think
point,
Sedge is trying to start his own podcast. Is what it is.
I got a sub Patreon account.
Yeah. It's just
was
called
so-
Sedge's Tool.
That was so cool. What is that? That was what? Over 3 hours, just hanging out.
Yeah. I think we called it right at 3 hours.
Wow.
And I was thinking, I don't know how Zoom does it. I don't know if the windows or the screens keep getting smaller the more people that join, or if it like just kind of rotates out. But I mean, my entire screen was full of people.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
as well. I was counting 16 people all the time, and then all of a sudden, a couple people boogied, a couple more people came in.
Yeah.
It was so freaking cool.
It was
I had
a really
few
good
people
turnout.
that were in the call that have written me since then and said how much they enjoyed it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
Excuse
really
me.
cool. Looking
Yeah, that was
forward.
great.
Well, we'll be at Workbench Con during the typical time we do it.
No, we just shift it.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was just saying I was looking forward to the next one.
Or
We
y'all
do it
just
at.
I
I don't know, man.
We're not doing that. I'm not.
There's
I'm
no
not
way.
taking recording stuff to Workbench Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving up drinking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say we'd be missing out on
No, we could
interacting
all
with
just
people we
sit
don't
down at
ever
the
get to
bar,
see.
and then everybody would just be like, "We're doing the podcast," and like everybody is coming up and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm blah blah blah." Like, get away from me.
Cool.
How many 3D printed penises do you think we would get?
I don't know. Are you gonna make any?
I considered it.
You should.
Wow.
Or maybe
3D printed
there's
dongs.
something Maybe there's something little that I can print that I can like hand out that would stand out.
Just do a life-size version of your penis.
I don't have a printer that's that big, Jason.
Yeah,
God.
right.
Oh,
Think of how many.
I would need one of those industrial-
One roll of filament.
think how many of those you can get in your pocket.
I would need one of those massive room-size industrial grade printers to do that. And besides, I don't think Jennifer would appreciate me doing that.
Yeah. You'd have to, imagine handing those out and wearing the Sedge Tool hoodie.
Oh my God.
That's a deadly combination.
Man.
And having the real deal standing right next to you.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
In his new Sedge
There would-
Tool thong.
There would be so many guys within a 25-mile radius that would be instantly pregnant if that happened.
Oh God.
Okay.
Joey, are you pregnant? I don't know what happened. It just popped up.
This is
Wow.
this is going south very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason, it's your episode.
I know. So, Ben, what have you been up to?
I've been slowly building my third sys bench this week. Also filming it,
Oh, cool.
which it is. I wouldn't say it's problematic. It's just it's going much slower than I thought that it would. I'm sorry, my cat is.
We don't hear it. It's okay. Yeah, just throw
Well,
things at it. There you go.
That didn't do
Wow.
anything.
Good parenting.
Wow.
So last weekend, I was at Jennifer's. Those that were in the live know that because I hadn't seen her in probably a month because I got COVID, the girls got COVID, and she had a procedure done a few weeks ago on her tongue. And either way, it had been like a month since I'd seen her, so I spent about 4 days hanging out with her over the weekend. Had a good time, and then just trying to film building this sys bench and kind of going through some growing pains with that because I was trying to validate the plans that I made. So I made the plans based off the second sys bench that I made. And I was like, okay, well, I have the plans. I'm going to use those for this build to make sure that the plans are in the proper order, that I didn't miss anything. And so doing that in conjunction with trying to film it was kind of a lot, but I'm getting it done. So that's all I'm really worried about. I was hoping to have it done by now, but it's just too much, traveling back and forth to see Jennifer. And then 2 days of the week I'm at school. I'm at school the entire day from the morning until late evening. So I need to reevaluate how much time I'm going to give myself to do it. But now I'm assembling it using the castle, and it's been a really long time since I've used pocket holes, and I can see that I probably should have put pocket holes in certain places to pull the panels together because they just didn't come together very well, or they didn't come together as tight as I'd hoped they would.
So, what are the growing pains that you've been having
With
the project?
Well, the first one was, and I was saying this before we started recording. One of the sheets of plywood that I have had a lot of stress in it, and I didn't notice until I was trying to do a 45 cut with the TS75. And to make the process go quicker, I cut both sheets at the same time, and because that was a part of me kind of validating the design and the cut, the way that I arranged the cut list, because I wanted to make the bench out of only 2 sheets of plywood, and that's it. No other materials you would need. And so to do that, it requires you to cut certain panels in certain places, and like in a certain sequence. So one of those sheets, again, it had a lot of stress on it. I made the first series of cross cuts, and that's when that stress released, but it was in the bottom one. And so I didn't really notice it until I was trying to do a 45 cut through both sheets, and the TS75 was just bogging down. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this? Like, why is this doing this? And because that's not at all typical, or at least when I was doing sheet goods with the TS75. And then I started looking, and I was like, holy crap, man, this thing is like I mean, it was probably a 3-inch bow. Like, that's how much of a difference it was between the two sheets. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was pinching the blade really bad.
Yeah, like really bad. And so I had to get like multiple clamps out. I had to get weights to put down on top of it to try to flatten it out. And eventually I got it. But and that was also during the time where I didn't realize that I had my variable suction down on my CT26. And so like the next morning, I'd already made all the majority of the cuts the night before. And I come downstairs and I'm like, man, like it's really kind of dusty in here. Like this isn't typical. And I was like, okay, well, I was doing a lot of edge rips. And so, everybody that uses the Traxxas knows that an edge rip, you're not going to get very good dust extraction. And so flash forward to the edge banding process, I'm hooking the vacuum up to the Conturo because it's good to just kind of keep a little bit of air moving in to kind of keep the internals clean. And I was like, oh, I should probably turn down the variable assist on the vacuum. And I go to do it. It's like, crap, it's already low. So I'm like, that's why I have dust everywhere, because my dust extraction was incredibly low. But back to the growing pains. So just trying to film, trying to iron out, because as I'm doing all this, I'm like making notes on the plans that I already made. Making notes to certain changes, and all the while I'm trying to do school projects, keep doing stuff around the house. So it was just a lot at once. But like I said, I really wanted to validate the plans that I have, because I don't want somebody else that's going to buy it to go through the same things that I want. I want to make sure that the instructions I have are thorough, that it accounts for any challenges that someone may have, because there are a few cuts on here that there's about a 14 millimeter margin of error on one of these cuts. And if you mess up anything within that 14 millimeters, it's going to render the panel useless. But again, it's because I'm trying to save materials. So just going through all the headaches of that. And then, just being a woodworker by yourself, like there were always many times where I wish I had extra hands. But again, that's a part of learning the process of building your own plans and filming it and stuff like that, is you have to figure out, okay, if someone else is going to build this and they're going to be by themselves, what are the processes that they need to take? What are the steps that they need to take to make it easier on them? And so some of it was going forward with a few steps and noticing that, okay, this is kind of a friction point. Let me back up and think of a more efficient way to do this. And then I would go back, change the plans a little bit or modify them, and then go forward. So it's a lot of iterations. I guess that's where the growing pains are coming from. And then again, to top all that, you're trying to film it. It's not as easy as just putting a camera down and hitting the record button, because you have to make sure that what the camera sees, somebody viewing it can make sense of it as well. So,
I mean, are you trying to make the video to accompany the plans, or is it just an extra thing?
I think that I kind of I flop back and forth a lot between how I'm going to complete the video, whether it's going to be me talking to the camera or me just doing a voiceover. And that really changes how you shoot a video. Mm-hmm. If you do just a voiceover, you can be pretty quick with doing your shots. But if you're going to be doing a head and shoulders, it's a little bit different, especially if you're talking to the camera as you're doing it. Or are you just recording all the actions and then doing voiceover? So I think going into it, I didn't really have a very clear strategy as to how I wanted the video to be. But to answer your question, I think it was both, and that may be the issue, where I wanted the voiceover to be the instructional content to go with the plans. And
you're
so
putting it on YouTube, are you not?
Yes, I am. And so I think that I kind of went back and forth between shooting a how-to and a how-did, which are two very different styles of videos. A how-to, you kind of have to take into account the problems that the viewer may experience, and be able to address those issues in the video. Whereas if you just did a how did, you don't have to worry about like explaining things to people. You just say, hey, this is what I did, you know? So I think that, again, not having a clear direction that I wanted the video to take, I think it kind of got in the way. So, but I mean, I haven't even edited anything, so it may turn out to be well, you know?
I'm not saying this to be an a-hole, but I think you're overthinking it, and you have to separate the plans from the video.
Why is that?
Because the two aren't going to be, they're not going to coincide with each other, right? So like, unless you're making paid instructional content where both of those pieces come together, I don't think it's necessary. And I kind of pivoted and started doing this. The YouTube video is just basically a promotion and a tool to get them to buy the plans and also give a little bit of detail. But at the end of the day, the plans are going to be the thing that have the most detail. They could refer to your video. So you don't necessarily have to make both like mesh and be nested within one another unless you're making it a package. That's why I asked. Yeah,
and that's what I was saying. That's why I didn't, by not having that clear decision going into it, that certainly got in the way, because about halfway through, I was like, I just need to make this like a how did. Like this is how I made it, you know, and not trying to answer a lot of potential questions that people may have. And again, that was a shift halfway through the filming process, and I was like, you know, I'll just like I highly doubt that people that buy these plans are going to need to watch the video. The video just needs to be like the thing that inspires them to want to build it, and that's it. Not necessarily the thing that they follow.
You know, that's actually something that I actually just kind of thought about this, but that could actually be a really good way to leverage things that you need to highlight in your PDF plans. And if you have your PDF plans completed, for the most part, we'll just say 95% complete. Obviously, there's going to be a couple things that change. But think about that for a second. If you had those done, and then you go into a video, and you look at your PDF plans and you have highlights on things, right? So this area right here I'm highlighting because this is important. You could actually translate that into the video to where by looking at the plans, if they're made beforehand, you could actually go into the video and know how to film it based on what you're highlighting in the plans.
Yeah, 100%.
That's interesting, because I would never buy plans from anybody because I design this stuff myself.
Yeah, and neither would I.
But if I was to buy a plan from either of you, I would say, okay, hang on, how does he do this? And then I could reference the video and say, oh, this is how he did this. You know, this is how he tapered the leg, where the plan just shows a tapered leg, but how the hell am I going to do that?
Yeah.
And you can see that in the video.
Yeah, so like a good example would be if I'm doing a video, the walnut dining room table, right? Those plans do well for me.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about any of the dimensions or anything like that for the. I wasn't speaking much about any of those things, right?
That's too much detail.
And I'm not either in the video. I've done zero talking in the video.
But the plans give that information. Then if it's like a technique, sure, they can link to it.
Yeah. I think they play off of each other really well. Because if you bought plans, man, I want to see the process that Ben went through to build that, and that's what that goes through. Correct? Is the process of building that?
Yeah, and I think that's what a how did is that it, you know, it just gives you the idea of the overall idea of how you did it. You know, the broad strokes, and then plans are like the nitty gritty, step by step by step by step. And so, like I said, going into it, you know, like even now, I don't have complete plans. I have the completed model in SketchUp, and like I don't even know how I want to format the plans yet.
That's what I'm struggling with.
And I think that just like you're saying earlier, Jason, I think that if my plans were finished, that it probably would have made the organization and the process of shooting the video a little bit more streamlined, because I already had this finished, completed project. Like I felt like I was going back and forth a lot, not necessarily with the design, but because I didn't have the designs completed, I found myself that like I would do one step down here. You know, if I had to wait for a finish to dry, if I had to wait for something to finish drying up or whatever, I would go upstairs, work on the plan some more, for an hour, come back downstairs, put another coat on, go back. So I wasn't, I guess I had my feet in too many different puddles, I guess, as opposed to just, okay, this is the complete plans. Okay, that step's done. Now I'm going to go film it. But, and that's just all a part of my learning path, and
yeah, I think another thing too that might be a battle, and at least initially, is, when's the last time you made a YouTube video?
It's been almost a year.
So,
it's been 10 months, 11 months since I uploaded a video for my individual channel.
I would be willing to bet that you're filming way more than you need to as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But at $93 a sheet, I don't want to have to reshoot anything,
Yeah, for sure. That's still ludicrous, by the way.
Man.
Oh, it's bonkers. And again, it was terrible quality.
It's been 2 days since I shot a YouTube video.
No.
God.
It's been easily a week for me. I need to do another one tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, we got one coming out. Well, you guys will have already seen this when this podcast is released. But I shot one I've been wanting to shoot for about a year and a half now, and I finally did it. Ben, you're going to enjoy it. I did an MFS primer.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, all the basic setups of it, and I'm really excited. I'm going to watch the final edit tomorrow morning that just came through. Chris just posted it off to the side, whatever, unpublished, so I'm going to go through it, and he's just got to do the thumbnail on it, which we've already shot. So I'm pretty excited about it, and then I'm going to do a series of them over the course of, application-wise, over the course of the next 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I'm going to use mine this weekend. I have to put a channel on the bottom of Jennifer's door for the little tab or whatever that you mount to the floor.
Yeah.
I just forgot to put it in there, so I got to do it this weekend.
Man, that thing is I forgot how versatile it was. And Big D just said, hey, when are we going to do this? I go, well, let's shoot it now.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was just listening to you, and sometimes it just doesn't hit me. But what you were saying about a how-to versus a how-did, and then the voiceover thing where we never do voiceovers. It's always live, basically, because that's what we like. And our formula at Sedge Tool is I'm teaching Big D, which I was going to do anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a couple times we have to take because I swear, and we don't want to swear. So Big D goes, hey, I think we got to do another take. But it's pretty cool. It's life in the shop. So.
Hey, Ben, I wanted to circle back on another thing that you had mentioned. It was about the pocket holes. What did you mean by that?
So when I did the pocket holes on the panels, so I used dominoes, which, that just makes everything, alignment, positioning, especially when you're by yourself, so much easier. So I have dominoes, and then for the pocket holes, I didn't put them at the towards the edges of the panels. So, because I don't know if people know this, but plywood is generally not completely flat. Like it's not.
It's not true.
So
it's always flat.
It's so the pocket holes are more towards the center of the panel, and I don't know why I did it like that, but like I said, I haven't done a pocket hole in God knows how long. But on the previous sys benches, I just drilled straight through the top surfaces with butt joints, everything. Like the screws are exposed. So just doing more pocket holes along the length of the panel where it attaches to the top, and that's just to pull the gaps together. Because right now I've only got 2 per panel, and it pulled it together in the center of the panel, but not towards the end. So there's like a 1 millimeter gap at the ends there. So,
how do you like the machine?
I love it. The quality of the cut that it leaves is really great. There are a couple pocket holes that I forgot to drill through, And so like I'm like trying to like position the screw, and I'm like, why is it not finding the hole? I'm like, because I didn't put it in there. But
it takes some time to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's just like clockwork.
Probably the biggest thing was you're cutting the pocket on the opposite side that you're typically used to with like the little handheld jigs. Because I like marked my panel where I was going to put everything, where all my dominoes are going to go, where my where the pocket hole screws are going to go. And so on the back panel, I marked it where I wanted the pocket holes to go. And again, with the handheld one, you're looking at the surface that you're drilling into, so you can see where your marks are. But when I did the castle, the very first pocket, I like lined up the little the indicator that's on the castle, and I locked it down, and I plunge it, and I'm like, wait, I just did the opposite side because of how it mounts to the panel, So I was like, well, I guess this is the side I'm going to do all the panels on. But once I did that, I got used to it, and it clamps to surfaces really easily. It's a really well built machine. Very simple, but also very well built. So
loud as all heck.
It is. It's about as loud as a typical
trim router.
Trim router. So it's not insanely loud, but it is loud. But that's why I get headphones. But I also got the new TSC 55 last week, which is just the awesomest thing ever.
I talked him into it, Sedge, because
you didn't talk me into it.
I talked him into it.
You didn't talk me into it.
Let me share a little story. Speaking of stories, I was watching his stories, and he was using his 75 and like talking about making cuts. I'm like, dude, why are you still using that 75? Why don't you get rid of that thing and get the 55? I mean, all you cut basically is plywood, really.
Yeah.
And I was like, you could put that thing and list it and sell it, and it'll be gone in like a minute.
It was.
Like an hour later, and it was gone.
Oh, no. 2
minutes.
Like 5 minutes.
You
5
sold
minutes.
your 75?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sold the 75. I actually made money on it, and then used that to buy the new 55.
And you get the new one with the 1.8 millimeter blades.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The brand, the new battery model.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Thing is sweet.
But man, it's great.
Yeah. I was
what's even better is this is something that you don't even really think about unless you have a battery operated handsaw. Not having to worry about a cord is so much more greater than you think it would be. Because now I don't have to like pull it out of the sustainer. I don't have to like unplug this, unplug that, plug that in. It's like I grab my hose, I plug it in, and then I just start cutting. Like it is so simple. And because of that, now I'm going to want the battery Vecturo or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
Like I am convinced now that batteries are definitely the way to go forward, because it is so simple now. And it's quicker too. Like if I needed to make a quick rip on something, I've seen the catalogs.
No. You haven't seen nothing yet.
I needed to make some quick rips at my work table. And like, again, typically the process was I pull the sustainer out of the sys bench, I grab the TS75 out, I do all the cords. Like I pull the sustainer down, pull the saw out, hook the hose up, and then I'm cutting. It's just, I can't get over it. Like every time I use it, and like just how quickly that motor shuts off, it's so satisfying to use.
So I used to be on the other side of the fence on this, because you had mentioned the power cable. And I used to say all the time on lives and stuff,
just
people
leave
like,
it.
oh, would you? Yeah, I'm like, well, if I have to hook up the hose, like, I might as well just hook up the cable.
Yeah, leave the 14 gauge in.
Yeah, but then when I got the cordless track saw and no longer was hooking up a cable to it and just the hose, I realized I was like, my hose has never got caught on things, because I have the sleeve on the hose. That never gets caught on anything. It was always that stupid cable.
Yeah.
And so now, like, I'm I'm all in on the cordless platform. If I can get it cordless, it's very, very likely I'm going to buy it cordless. Because the batteries last forever, too.
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
Were you
Sedge.
guys using the deflector? Because, that's a big thing with the cord getting caught on the rail. Because the deflector doesn't go the whole way at this moment.
I hate you, Sedge.
I don't...
It wasn't the edge of the rail that mine would always get caught on. It was other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other little nooks and crannies that...
Isn't it weird that just the simple power cord, just losing that, but you still got to put the hose on? It doesn't matter. It makes a huge difference. And Ben, do you got Bluetooth?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and when you sync the battery,
it is lightning quick, man.
It is so
so
cool.
fast, like less than half a second.
And somebody would say, "Oh, I don't want to get a Bluetooth battery because I have the remote for Bluetooth." I always forget to hit the remote, so I always have a Bluetooth on there, and I sync it right away.
I will say this, and this is the only thing that I don't like about it. And maybe I've done something wrong, and so correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it doesn't maintain memory if you lose power to the vacuum.
Oh, absolutely. No, it doesn't. You got to sync the battery every time.
That is the only thing that I wish it did, is that it maintained memory.
So when you're syncing it, how do you sync it? Do you hit it on the vac?
No, I just hit the
bottom thing on the remote, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think you got to hit the vac and that bottom button on the remote. No. That's how you sync it.
Yeah, I just hit the remote, and then I just quickly hit the trigger on the saw, and it
absolutely
goes up.
What is it?
But yeah.
Okay, so when you look at your remote and it says manual.
It's a smaller button.
The second green button on there underneath is what you hit.
Yeah.
I can't do enough festival sedges on that, and every time I do it, everybody goes, thanks. I think I've done 5 of them.
But yeah, I'm certainly a believer in the cordless power tools now. It's almost the same sensation that I got whenever I bought the I think it's the MIDI, maybe, or the CT15. I think it's the CT15. It's underneath a whole bunch of wood right now, but I bought the 15 just for my Capex because I got so tired of moving the bigger vacuum over there and plugging it up. Like, just doing that saved me so much headache and just like the little nuisance things that just kind of eat up your time. There's a saying in the Army where ounces turn into pounds, pounds turn into pain. And it goes whenever you would pack your rucksack. The more things you add, the more pain you're giving yourself later down the road if you have to do a long ruck. But not having a power cord now saves me that little bit of time between switching tools. Because I can literally just pull the saw out of the sustainer, hose it, and then I'm cutting. It's until you experience it, you really can't grasp an appreciation for it. But all that to say,
wow,
that's what I've been up to this week.
Wow.
Jason,
no, Sedge, it's my episode. Sedge, what have you been up to?
Sorry.
Well, we shot a couple of great videos on Sunday morning
Ben's
with
leaving.
the boys.
Ben left.
Of course he is. And just getting stuff ready for painting around the house. I got to do the whole first floor again.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Workbench Con week. I took the whole week off. And hopefully we're still going. It all goes through. But I'm going to start that Friday night. I'll start prepping a week before, but I'll start painting on Saturday, Sunday before we take off. Yeah, so just been doing a lot of stuff like that. I did another Kaizen foam video. I just love that stuff. I'm still getting organized as we go.
And, I saw that. I saw with all the pliers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked good.
It makes it so easy. The other thing I've been doing is I spent most of my Saturday sharpening.
Jason's stuff, huh?
All the cutlery for the Bent's kitchen.
Oh, snap.
And you ready? I had such a good time. I just love my Tormac. And that stuff came out wicked sharp, didn't it?
Yeah. It's like a night and day difference. It's sharper now than it was when we bought it.
Yeah.
Those are good knives, too.
Oh, yeah.
I was
The
wicked
Westhoffs.
sharp for real.
Yep.
I was using the one chisel that I have yesterday, and I mean I've had this thing for, I don't know, probably a year at this point. Like still the same edge from the store, never sharpened it, and I was just using it. I was like I should probably just send this to Sedge and have him sharpen it for me.
Do it. Do it.
Because I was thinking, I didn't feel like investing in a sharpening system for one chisel, the one chisel that I have.
And Jason had bought that 95, that right angle, Lee Nielsen, and it cut pretty good when you first got it, but man, it sings now, don't it? I think we had that plain blade sharpened probably within 5 minutes. And
Yeah, it's a smaller blade.
Yeah, and boy, did that thing come out nice.
It's really, really, really nice. Very satisfying to use.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't know? I didn't know that was the first plane that Lee Nielsen made.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Some people commented on my post and were saying that. Interesting.
Yep. That was the first one. Yeah. Was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I mean, quite a few people had commented on that.
Do you know his story? He was working at Garrett Wade in New York City, and people coming in and saying, hey, I can't get these hand planes anymore. And he said, yep. And he moved back up to Maine and started Lee Nielsen Tool Works.
Really?
His father was a boat builder, I believe. Yeah, people should go watch some of the Lee Nielsen Tool Works, like tours and of the building and stuff, and then some of their open houses. You really get a really good sense of what they do there. Everything's done really, really well, the right way. And I've just watched that company slowly grow over the years. It's just that's why most of my hand planes are Lee Nielsen, but I do have a lot of Veritas and a lot of old Stanley and Sargents and Middle Falls too. So. But the nice thing about doing all this stuff with you guys, and you guys got me back out in this shop, man. I live out here again. It's really nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm having a time of my life, and I'm working on quite a bit of content because, Jason, when I start to paint, I'm going to be pulling base out of that coffee nook area. You know how I'm doing that bay window seat?
Yeah.
And I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to paint first, but I'm going to step Big D through the process of templating the area, pulling the base, templating the area, and lofting it and building it in three sections. So I'm really excited about that, and that'll knock that off Mary Ann's list for me. She'll make a nice cushion for it in her quilting room and whatever. So it'll be cool. 2022 is going to be so much daggone fun. We got so many cool things planned. So it's fun. So I guess I just been working around the shop, getting stuff done, getting stuff prepped. The norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sharpening all of my blades.
Oh, always sharpening. When the boys found out that I on Sunday morning that I sharpened your chef knives and steak knives, both their eyes lit up, and I went, "Oh God, here we go! Sedge sharpening service."
That's right. I was the guinea pig.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, all I can tell you is that those knives are crazy sharp now.
Ben, send the chisel. I'll take care of it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that I will.
Okay.
Or you just need to come out here. It's not like you ever come any other time.
Oh, Jason, how many times have you been to my house, Jason?
I have a child.
I have 3 children.
But they're not always with you.
It's true.
And
I have 2 cats.
Yeah, you can leave cats for like 6 months. They'll be fine.
And
I'll walk in and be like, wait, who are you?
the really cool thing is Patrick and Michelle are going to be in Indy this weekend.
Yes, they are.
Oh, that's right. They're coming down this weekend.
Oh,
Friday,
for sure.
yeah.
It's going to be, yep.
Can't wait to see Michelle.
I'm already coming in May, so you can't sit here and try to guilt trip me about.
You're coming in May.
Yeah, I'm doing my motorcycle trip.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Let me know what weekend that is. I'll be sure to be gone.
Oh my God.
It'll be the second to last week in May.
Oh.
I graduate the 15th, and then I leave the 16th. And then it's a 4-day ride to Chi-Town. And then
Are you stopping on the way?
No, I'm gonna go to Chicago first. Jennifer's gonna meet me there. We're gonna spend the weekend there, and then after that weekend, I'll be driving back, and that's when I'll stop by Indiana.
Cool. Well, before I get into what I've been up to, we may not talk about a topic tonight. I don't know. I want to talk about Bessie.
Oh.
Because now we're 40 minutes in and I've totally forgot to mention anything. So this is the first episode of February. Go ahead.
I was going to say you could do a really good marketing move and say, if you want to know more about Bessie, the giveaway, stick to the end of the episode. See, that's gonna serve as the device to pull people to the end.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going to keep them.
Well, it's definitely not you on this podcast, that's for sure. So
you killed it, because I was just going to say you leaving this podcast would keep them on.
Wow.
Look, Jason, I'm the only one that is bringing cats onto this episode, cute cats at that. So
listen, everybody, this guy doesn't even know how many pocket screws to use. Okay.
What's a pocket screw?
Yeah, pocket hole.
Pocket hole.
Never
mind. That would be vulgar. I was going to.
Hey.
So I was on the Facebook group, the Woodworkers for Beginners Facebook group, just answering like a couple questions, and somebody come on there and saying like, hey, I want to get into woodworking. What are some tools that I should get? And then some smart ass puts a Harvey table saw in like the comment section. I'm like, stop. Let's reevaluate this. Okay, if you're just getting this, I don't think recommending them to buy a Harvey table saw.
Why not?
Okay, no experience whatsoever.
100%.
And you're going to tell them to drop. I'm not saying that it's a bad table saw. I'm just saying let's get some other experiences in our belts first before we plunk down the cash on a cabinet table saw.
No, buy a Bridge City Cinefinder.
Yeah. Buy both Dominoes.
5
CT48s.
If someone was just getting into woodworking, I wouldn't even recommend Festool in the beginning.
Okay.
Jason, what's that over-under machine you have?
Anyways,
they need one of those.
Yeah, the hammer.
The hammer.
We're getting sidetracked. Thank you, Bessie, for sponsoring yet another giveaway for the month of February. The winners will be announced on the next episode. They'll already know by the time, but the winners for January will be announced. So this month, a little bit different. This month, they're going to be giving away a pair of the Uniclamps, which I have really started to become a huge fan of.
That was on your video, right? Your drawer video you just did.
Yes.
Or was that a story?
I did a story, and they were also in the video as well. But
yeah.
They're going to give away a set of those to one winner. We're just doing one winner this month. And then to enter, it's open to U.S. and Canada, excluding Hawaii and Alaska. Same rules. To enter, just send an email to
greensuiterspodcast
at gmail.com. Subject line, put February giveaway. And then in the body, just put your name, address, and phone number. That way we have all of the information that we need to send to Bessie for shipping. And we will randomly select one lucky winner at the end of the month, and Bessie will ship those clamps out to you. So again, huge thank you to Bessie Tools North America.
And competition's getting pretty intense for these giveaways.
Oh yeah, how has it been going?
I'm switching my accounts right now to see, but I want to say it's probably in the 50s by now.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Good.
Wow.
So just so everybody knows, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Uniclamps, and they're not asking me to do this. It's just now that I have experience with them. So picture a Uniclamp, picture an F-style clamp with a parallel clamp. And that's what the Uniclamp is. And I mean, I'm reaching for, I only have some 6-inch and some 12-inch. I actually want to try to maybe build that stockpile a little bit, but I'm reaching for those things way more often than I'm reaching for my F-styles now, just because I love the parallel clamp style. And these clamps they're just great.
When you mean parallel clamp, you mean the K body?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I was off a little bit. We're at 43 entries.
Okay.
Oh,
at the moment, and we still have another week left. So.
Yeah, we still have another episode that'll come out. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, enter for your chance to win. Doesn't cost you anything. Just send that email, and we'll get you registered, and then we'll select a winner.
And again, this is the information you're giving us. It is purely to pass that information for the winners to Bessie. We're not taking this. We're not giving the information out to for anyone else other than for the winners to receive their items. So,
well, to be fair, I have applied for at least 9 different credit cards using some of that information. So,
oh wow,
yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Keep making those birthday posts, everybody.
Yeah.
The good thing is I got 40 of those 43, so hopefully I win.
Yeah. So what have I been up to? Saturday, let's go day by day. Saturday we went and looked at another house and made an offer.
That's right.
Another house in Carmel, and it did not get accepted.
They're playing the market.
It was more of like they underpriced the house, I think, purposely to create a bidding war, which they did. And we made a offer $30,000 over asking with a $10,000 appraisal gap. So for those that don't know what an appraisal gap would be, because I actually got asked this question when I talked about it in my stories. If the house is selling for $460,000, you offer $500,000 or something like that. With no appraisal gap, if it appraises at $460,000, you're only responsible to pay $460, right? The reason why appraisal gaps come into play is because you could make a $500,000 with an appraisal gap all the way up to the asking price. So in a situation like that, if it appraised for $460,000 but you offered $500,000, you would have to come out of pocket the $40,000 because the bank won't support anything over the appraisal. So what we think happened is somebody made an offer like that, but had a appraisal gap to take them all the way to whatever their offer was, which obviously from the buyer's perspective, it is a better choice. I just don't have tens of thousands of dollars laying around to do an appraisal gap. So it didn't work out. Sunday, we were kind of bummed out, but we did end up getting our gym. I got the rest of that desk that I built, completely ripped apart, took out all the drawer slides, salvaged a lot of the Baltic birch from the drawers, actually, to keep for some other drawer projects later on. And that was it. Monday, yesterday, my birthday.
Happy birthdays.
Happy birthday.
I turned 23.
Nice.
And I feel great. No. But it was my birthday.
Did you get your belly button? Did you get your belly button pierced for your birthday?
I already had it pierced. I got something else pierced.
Oh my God.
No, but it was a great day because at 6:30 in the morning, I was woken up by Leo. He walks in the room. He's like, saying "Happy birthday, Daddy," and he gives me the card, and he was so excited to give me the box, which he wanted to help me rip open.
Yeah.
So we, ripped open the package, and it was that Lee Nielsen number 5. Man, is that thing nice?
Oh yeah.
And I took it out in the shop last night. Yeah, because my wife was like, "Why don't you go out in the shop for a little while?" So I went out in the shop and grabbed I first started on a piece of white oak, but white oak is not an enjoyable wood to plane.
No, too brittle, right? The fibers too erratic, I guess would be the right way to say.
Yeah, it's not me personally, I don't really enjoy it, so I grabbed a huge chunk of walnut that I had, and man, I'm talking just slicing through.
So you said earlier that this thing's it's so nice. Like, what about it gives you that impression? Like, is it the weight, the feel, the finish? Well, what does that mean though? What does that mean?
It means everything.
Well, I know, Jason, but
Hold on,
that
let me
is.
pull up Webster's dictionary and find out the definition of everything. Oh, it means everything.
I'm trying to quantify it for people
No, I'm
that
just
have
kidding.
no
Go
idea
ahead.
who Lee Nielsen is. No, I'm saying like specifically, what is it about just that particular? Maybe it's the model, or maybe it's the brand of Lee Nielsen. Like, what is it that you just love the most?
So, it's not the only Lee Nielsen. The first plane I bought from them was the number 4. And to me, what drew me into those is the look, the finish.
Mm-hmm.
I love the handles on it.
Does it have the dovetailed brass? No.
No. It's just a good. When you look at something, and you just look at it, you don't even have to touch it. You look at it, and you're like, "That's really nice quality."
Yeah, I do that every morning in the mirror.
Right.
Okay. Can I put a 2 cents in there?
Mm-hmm.
You can put in 1 cent, but not 2.
Okay. So what's the difference between a Yugo and a BMW? Just looking at them.
Well, one's Bavarian made.
But it's true. That's the difference. You look like a piece of crap you buy somewhere, and you put it next to a Lee Nielsen, and you know the difference. It's the fit and finish of it. It's the weight. It's how the handle feels in your hand, and it's just incredible.
Balance of it.
The balance of it. It's a bedrock design on both that 4 and that 5 you have. Those are bedrocks.
So you could say that
it's amazing. No
that
chatter.
not only does it give you a good result, it's also a really good experience to use it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
because there are a lot of tools that give great results, but it's a terrible experience to get it. Whereas go ahead.
It's funny you mentioned that, Sedge, because when I was saying like the finish, right? Like you can just tell by looking at it. Mm-hmm. And this isn't like a gig on the $20 hand plane that you and Big D like redid all that stuff. But if you were to set that hand plane next to the Lee Nielsen, there's a without even touching it, there is a very clear difference on which one is a better quality just by looking at it. It's just a dream. I mean, here's what's really strange is that, Sedge, we've joked about this a million times, like, hand tool weenies, all that other stuff.
Yep.
But I am really, really, really like becoming very interested in that side of things, and like holding those tools in my hand and like, and doing that. It like while I'm doing it, like I swear I must have taken at least 200 passes last night just because I had no reason to do it other than just to kill some time and enjoy it, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just really enjoyable. And so like all day today and last night, I've been looking at different workbench designs and how I can make a small one to like fit my space and like what I would want on it, what kind of vise and all that stuff. So I'm starting to get excited. I never want to be a hand tool only guy. Like I love power tools. You know what I mean?
Too.
I love the speed. I love the efficiency, but there's something about
you are becoming one with the wood.
Yeah. starting to like being able to incorporate both in projects, instead of just like, oh, I'm going to do this and route this and that and boom, and I'm done, and throw it together. But it's very enjoyable. So that was fun. Yes. So
I have always said this. And of course I work for Festool, but Festool and fine hand tools are a perfect fit. They complement each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Festool is the Lee Nielsen of power tools. Sorry, it's just
absolutely.
It's a standard.
When is Festool going to create a hand plane with dust collection?
Have you ever seen my wooden hand planes that I bored out? And I put plug-it cord receptacles in them.
No.
Yeah. I got them kicking around the house. I used to have them at work. And one time I went down to see Les. I used to run the repair department early on. One of the greatest individuals you ever want to know. And he said, "What are you doing?" I go, "You got any old plug-it cord receptacles kicking around?" He goes, "Yeah, I think so." I drilled them out and I epoxied them in. These were old Razzie planes, and wooden ones, and I drilled it out and I put a plug-it receptacle. I went down there and he just shook his head. I go, "Did you know Festool invented the first electric hand plane?" And I go, "You want to plug it in, Lester?"
Just don't forget it's a quarter turn, okay?
Quarter turn, yeah.
He just shook his head. He goes, "You're a piece of work, kid."
That's funny.
Yeah.
I still like the idea of putting the stickers on all my tools and just putting
Oh yeah.
different. That's what I'll do. The Lee Nielsen's. I'll put a sticker on them. It says Buck.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "What kind of hand plane's that?" So, the Buck Tools.
Buck tools.
It's really good. It cost me $10. No,
Put
but
a
today,
Toyota emblem on it. Oh, it's a
yeah,
Toyota plane. You didn't know that?
yeah. You didn't know they make them? What's wrong with you? Hello.
What's up?
Or what is it? Yamaha. Yamaha's the only place where you can go to a store and buy a dirt bike and a piano in the same store.
Yeah. Today I went up to the good old Northwest Lumber, which is where I get all of my plywood.
Ooh.
And they had everything I needed in stock to include Baltic birch, which was great. But I dropped another $1,000 on plywood today. Yeah. So,
Are you redoing the kitchen?
oh no, that'll be way more in plywood for the kitchen. But
So wait, so $1,000, you got what? 2 sheets?
here, yeah, 1.5. Yeah, one in a scrap that somebody.
They're doing some scraps
How much was the Baltic birch?
Some idiot in a Prius was out cutting the lumber in
in the parking lot
parking
with
lot.
their
and he gave-
STM 1800.
Yeah, gave me the scraps. Okay, so here's what I got, and I'll break down the prices, right? I did get some poplar because I'm getting ready to start that desk for my sergeant major. It's a desk for his wife. And I'm going to be constructing the base very similar to how you would do like a kitchen island. You know, like on a kitchen island, you're going to put in the base cabinets and then you're going to build a shroud basically that connects and goes around it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of doing the desk like that. So it's going to be 2 end panels, a back panel. The 2 end panels and the back panel will all be separate and then assembled on site using the domino connectors. And then I'm going to build a single cabinet that has 3 drawers in it that will be to the left side underneath the table. And I think I'm going to try to use the lamello just to use it. But I'm going to build the cabinet in a way and leave. I think I'm actually going to do a face frame application for this style of cabinet.
Really?
Because they want kind of like a farmhousey style feel. It's going to be a white
So
painted
you want
base
that.
with an X on the side. I just think that face frame matches that style a little bit better.
Yeah. Because it's got the rails and styles to it.
Yeah, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the front left side much wider. And I'm going to end up, I'm thinking about using the lamello, and when I place it underneath there, it's going to clip into the lamello, and then from behind, it'll get locked in place. So that base cabinet is a standalone, but it's locked to and connected to the base piece, right? So if you ever wanted to take it, it's not just sitting there floating freely. Just an interesting way, I think, that I could, incorporate using the lamello. And again, it's, when I'm making things and doing stuff, if I'm going to film it, I want to try to incorporate as many different things as I can, just to make it a little bit more interesting, and to have all the haters say you used a domino and connectors and a lamello on this thing and a spray system. Like, yep, sure did.
Are you gonna use pocket holes?
Maybe on the drawer boxes. Maybe
Quick
on the drawer
question.
boxes. But I'll use enough of them.
I was thinking about this when I was filming this build. Have you ever, in the middle of
8 inches.
Oh God, in the middle of doing one of your videos or your builds, whatever, have you ever made like a subsect or a little micro piece of content based off of like one thing that you're doing? Because there were several instances where I probably could have done that, but I was like, I just want to get this done so quickly that I don't want to take the time to make additional content off of content I already kind of felt overwhelmed by it, but I was like, that was like a missed opportunity, especially with the cost of lumber right now.
Yes. I absolutely have. I actually try to plan projects to do that. A good example of it was my miter station, which I haven't released a video on the miter station yet. I still have all the content, but while I was doing that, when I was installing the inset doors for underneath the Capex, I stopped what I was doing and I took that as an opportunity to walk through the steps on how to do inset doors. But then I would still continue to film everything the same way.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. Because yes, it does slow things down. But for me, like that's what I do. Like any chance I get to create content. And if I don't do it, if I encounter a thing during a project that I think would be good content to cover at a later time, because maybe I am too strapped for time. Another good example, the domino connectors. I used them on Leo's bed. Immediately following the bed, I made a video about it. I was going to do it, but I didn't film any of Leo's bed. I only did that portion.
Ben, it's the way I used to design classes at Festival when we did end user classes. Some guys want to end up with a finished project. You know, that's a build. That's 2 days of buildings. But a lot of technique is taught in it, where the router classes were all exercise-based. And that's how I look at creating content. And we've discussed this, Jason, about you go through some builds, but boy, you're doing a lot of stuff like, comparisons of parallel guys, comparisons of, squares or track squares or whatever. There's so much. Ben, some of your other videos you've done, you could pull stuff out of there and do really small YouTube shorts. There's so much. People want to learn, and they want to learn from you. They want to learn from you, Jason. And it just, there's so much content. I mean, you saw when I did that first cabinet build, I did four different videos to lead up to it, and then we put it all in and we compressed it and edited it. So it was one video, which was a half hour, but we had, I think, 4 or 5 half-hour videos from it. Yeah. That's how I did BowSaw, because people want to learn about making templates. They want to learn about how to use a template, but it happened to be a BowSaw build. Boy, that turned into a long video, but it was good.
Yeah. I mean, because literally every step of this process that I was doing, with the exception of like making plans, I could have made additional content on it, but this goes back to one of our earlier podcasts, like 2 or 3, where like I had a goal set for myself, like, okay, I want to get this done by next week, and so I was so focused on getting it done, which is this week now. I was just so focused on just accomplishing that's why I didn't film additional content when I probably could have. I don't know, maybe that's something I can save for the next one. But I mean, you're right, it does extend the amount of time that you have to spend filming it, and
it slows the process down.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
For sure.
And plus, like, my shop's been kind of scattered because I don't have that storage capacity right now, because I move things around to make room for this sysbench. And so some of it too is just like, okay, well, I'm tired of my shop being the way that it is. I want to put things away and have this surface that I can actually use. And
so one thing that I really like, because you were saying it slows it down, it takes a lot more time. You're absolutely right, it does. It just depends on, like, do I want to do this to get that content out there? One thing that I really like, and I've been able to do during the times that I'm on leave or something like that, if I can dedicate a week
to just content. Yeah,
to just, that's why, again, I cannot wait to retire, because the first week of the month or whatever, last week of the month, I spend that entire week, and all I do is I film the 4 videos that are going to come out the following month. I film a video, I edit it. I film a video, I edit it. I film a video, I edit it. All that stuff. And all of those come out. It takes the stress off for the rest of the month, which then I can focus on other things.
Yeah, you can kind of strategize, and it makes sense.
I wanted to go back to, this is always a very common question that people ask anytime I buy lumber, or anybody buys lumber, or what does it cost in your area? What is this? So I actually have the receipt in front of me. I brought it up here tonight just because I wanted to talk about each thing that I bought and what the costs were. Because since I did stories earlier talking about when I bought that, I've already received 4 different messages asking people, like, what does it cost in your area for Baltic birch or this? And said you even asked how much the Baltic birch was. So the stuff that I got today, I got 23.5 board feet of 8-quarter poplar, and the price per board foot of that is $4.95. And then I got 7.5 board feet of 4-quarter poplar, and that was $4.50 per board foot. Those prices are significantly higher than what I was paying in Georgia. I was paying under $2 a board foot in Georgia.
That's what I pay here.
Yeah, that was also
pre-COVID,
pre-pandemic too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
actually, those are the exact prices that I pay per board foot for poplar.
1/2-inch Baltic birch, which they do have in stock now because they changed suppliers. Last year they were out of it for like Ben. I took you there.
Yeah, that's where you get that riffs on 1/4 inch.
Yep. So each sheet of 1/2-inch Baltic birch, which is 5x5, was $85. I do know it's $135 for 3/4 Baltic birch.
5x5.
Yeah. So, let's see. Well, surprisingly though, most messages that I get are always related to Baltic birch. Some places have been way more expensive. Some places have been slightly less expensive. I wish I could find 4x8 sheets of Baltic birch, but I haven't been able to find that yet.
I guess my buddy Garrett did pretty good, huh?
Oh, he got super lucky, yeah.
Stole.
Okay, so then I got 5 sheets of 3/4 inch pre-finished birch. Those are $87 per sheet. Yeah.
Pre-finished birch 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
87.
87. Yep.
That's actually really good.
Well, Sedge, you were paying 70-something for maple, right?
Yeah, 76, 74, 76, 75.
And that's for a full 4x8?
Oh, 4x8 pre-finished one side. Yep. But
this is pre-finished 2 sides.
Oh, okay. But
really good.
Yeah.
They don't even have pre-finished maple there, unfortunately, because that's what I really wanted.
Yeah, when I first went there, I asked about pre-finished plywood, and they said, "What's pre-finished plywood?" But that was in 2007. They carry it now.
I got 2 sheets of 1/4 inch birch pre-finished both sides. Actually, no, this is only finished on one side. Mm-hmm. And those were $49 a sheet. I got a sheet of 1/2-inch MDF. That was $42. And then the last piece I got was 1/4 inch quarter sawn white oak, because that'll be the panels for the... I got so much pre-finished because we're doing a whole cabinet bank above like the washer and dryer eventually. And the doors will be everything will be white oak. That's $95, 1/4 inch.
What did you get 1/2-inch MDF for?
The 1/2-inch MDF
template
for the desk.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
So
the panels.
Yep.
Yes,
panels.
The panel one because
Smart.
it just paints way better, and it was way cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smart.
But they're going to be inside of grooves in the stretchers that connect the tables, and then in grooves for the end pieces. So it's going to be enclosed in 8/4 poplar.
You prime that MDF, don't you?
Oh, I'm priming everything.
Oh my God, man! You ever just? Oh my God, MDF sucks up friggin' paint like you read about if you don't prime.
Oh yeah, the whole everything's getting primed.
Yeah,
and it's just going to be painted white. But he wants like X's in the ends.
Of course, nice.
Or his wife does. Yeah. So I'll just use whatever wood I use for the top, which I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I have enough ash to do two tops that are 60 by 30, but I do have the white oak tops that I used for my desk that I'm originally planned on repurposing, and I still might do that because I don't know if I have enough of the ash.
Are you making 2 desks?
I'm making a desk top and a desk. So the top is going to be going on a Vera desk.
Oh, gotcha.
And then the other one is an actual desk. So the desk will be behind it, in a corner behind, and then facing the opposite direction will be the Vera desk. So like the printer and everything would be behind her.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Wow, cool.
So it'll be cool. Pretty relatively quick build, I think. I have to spray it, and I hate spray painting in my garage.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a choice because it's cold outside.
No kidding, man. Do you know the wind chill tomorrow morning is supposed to be around minus 15 to minus 20? Wind chill?
It's gross.
Yeah, really gross.
Yeah. I might have to wear underwear.
Well, you're going to have to dress up fancy for Fogo de Chao this weekend.
Ooh, I know, I heard.
I think it's a fancy place.
It is.
Sounds fancy.
It's okay. I'll wear a t-shirt and shorts.
I heard we're going to have the meat sweats afterwards, though.
Ooh. I just like saying meat sweats.
Yeah. Ben, have you ever been to a Fogo de Chao?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh my God.
Nicole's been. I've never been. But it's like a Brazilian steakhouse. And it's one of those places where they continuously come around to your table with all these different meats, and they cut the meat directly there for you.
And they give you a chip that's either red or green. If it's green,
yes,
then
I
they're
have
just
been
going
to one
to put
of
it
those.
on there. If you flip it over red, that means no more meat.
Yeah, I have been to one of those. Those are pretty sweet.
Oh, man.
They might as well just give me one that's green on both sides.
Oh, my God.
Some of the best meat that I've ever had.
Yep.
It's really good.
That's
really,
what she said?
Ooh.
That's what he said.
Well, the thing you got to be careful of is a lot of these places have really killer salad bars first, and you don't want to fill up on that because you got to wait for the meat.
Oh, I'm going all out.
You got to save room for the meat.
You guys are making me hungry.
I don't like the way you said that.
You guys are making me hungry.
Stop. Ben, you could upset some listeners.
That's
there might be
true.
other Cav Scouts that listen to this.
This is true.
So we're already at an hour and 12 minutes. I don't think I'm going to bring up our topic.
Okay.
I'm going to save it.
That's a hard one, man.
It is. I think we need more time to think about it. I'm not even going to say what it was because then people will be like, oh, you should have talked about it.
Yeah.
I will say who the question was from, though. The idea was from.
Patrick.
No. It was a good idea, Ben. Can't be from Patrick. It was from Ed Mancini. Army guy.
I know Ed. I met him at your house.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah.
Yeah. He's wicked cool.
Yeah. He I was going to give him a hard time once. I was actually writing him a message to give him a hard time, and I was like, wait a minute, I think he did send questions because he always calls into AWP. Like every week he does a question. So I was going to call him and be like, hey, man, why are you always giving questions to AWP, but when I ask for questions, you never do it? So he ended up sending me like a slew of questions, and one of them was the topic I was going to address tonight, but I want to address it. We'll just save it. Maybe for one of the community episodes. So I'm going to put them on our share drive. But as I was typing that, I was like, I think he did send me messages. And I went back and scrolled and found like six questions
that he has sent.
I just never added them to the question box.
Yeah, we drank a few beers that day. I think that was Leo's birthday.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, he came out for the bounce house. Him and his wife.
Yeah, now I remember. Yep,
too cool.
That was a good time.
For sure.
Do you have any get bent comments tonight?
I thought I had, but I went back and I read the comment, and it was okay. It wasn't aimed directly at me. It was kind of aimed at Big D, and I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh.
I'm gonna pass on it tonight.
Sedge, did you notice my wardrobe change?
Oh, is that nice? Keep rubbing.
Hey. Question.
Oh, stop it, man.
That's
nice.
Where did you order it from?
Teespring, and the hoodie. Well, there's a shirt too, but the hoodie, the coffee mug, and the t-shirt were the only 3 things that I ordered that came out well. So I need to go back to the website and double check the file that I uploaded. Maybe there's something wrong with that, but I obviously I don't want everything to be white. I want it, to have different colors because this is going to get dirty soon.
So I would like to propose.
For those that are listening, I ordered some Green Suiters podcast merch, which is a white hoodie with our logo on the front of it. I also ordered some other stuff that came in, but the quality really wasn't very well. So we 100% need to go with Printful. Okay, then I'll switch over to them.
The reason is I used to use Teespring, and I opened up a campaign with Teespring. Same exact experience you had, but the problem is that I opened up the campaign and then left it open to other people, and other people started ordering things, and then I ordered one to see the quality, and I was not happy with how it came out. Also a coffee mug, and I had a problem with that, and there was issues with the logo.
Yeah.
Printful is so easy, and you can integrate it into a website, all kinds of stuff.
They respond right away.
I can kind of see the square background from the actual picture on this, and you guys saw the Tumblr that kind of looked terrible.
Yeah, but, we had a couple situations with Printful already because we've gone through quite a bit of swag orders, and Nicole ordered. You guys ordered. Jason, you and Nicole. Nicole's didn't come in right. They said, "Yep, we have another one on the way for them." They were real helpful. We're really happy with Printful.
Printful has a huge selection of, like this. My hoodie is a Gildan sweatshirt, which is the same one the Festool hoodies are. Like kind of a middle to heavyweight hoodie. This is old. I've had this for like a year. Patrick and Michelle, and then Sedge. You guys, I can't remember what the brand is.
Oh, it's so comfortable.
Yeah, but they have a great selection. They have tons of stuff you can do, and it's really, really easy. And like I just have mine connected to my website. I got an order for one while we were on the podcast, actually.
Yeah. And that's so. My goal was to have merch ready by February 1st. That way, people could order it. We could order it. And have it for Workbench Con. So that'll be something that I'll do tomorrow is get on Printful, because a lot of people recommended Teespring. I know that's what some other podcasts use, not just woodworking, but just other podcasts in general. But yeah, like it kind of took a while for everything to come in, and the quality was not good. So this was a really test run.
Very quick.
And I was able to get tons of different colors. It's the logo itself is just printed. There's no
background or anything.
Nothing.
This hat's embroidered. The toques are great.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
I'll definitely get on Printful tomorrow, because I want us and other people to be able to have it if they want to represent. So,
Ben, do you have any Get Bent comments tonight?
No, I don't. I have positive ones, but not negative ones.
Oh, should we? Maybe we need to have a Get Bent segment and a positive segment or something. I don't know. No, it's too much time.
Yeah.
And it's not as funny. It's like, that was hilarious. He was so nice to you.
Yeah, I know.
That is so special that they were so nice to you.
I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of like bragging on... People say a lot of nice things, and I'm always glad people do reach out. But it's kind of, for me, it's kind of weird reading nice stuff. I'd rather listen. I'd rather listen to Jason.
Well, there's a very big. That is very entertaining to hear Jason get ragged on, but there's a big difference between someone that just says like good video and then someone that really goes into a comment and is very appreciative, and like those are really and grateful for, and those are actually pretty far and few between. So yeah, but I don't think it's something that we need to add as a segment or anything like that.
Ben, I do have comments tonight. However, before we get into it, I would really like it to be introduced by Hans.
Yes.
All right, hang on. Let me go get him. Hey, yo, Hans! Hans! Hey,
That makes me laugh, man.
Sean, give me 1 second. I'm cooking some sausages. Oh, hi, guys. It's me, Hans. I guess it's time for the Get Bent segment. So without further ado, Get Bent.
I don't know. Stop. I loved your part where you were saying, hold on, I'm cooking some sausages.
I think he meant to say bratwurst, but
Yeah.
he's really he's really working on his American language skills. So
before I read the comments that I have tonight, I just have to say I was listening to episode 20 today, or 21, whichever one the last one was.
21, yeah.
I almost crashed my car. I was laughing so.
Good.
It was so funny.
I was editing the videos for it today, the Instagram videos for it today.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see them.
Look at it. There's quite a bit. I think probably half of because I try to do 15 posts per episode for social media.
Holy cow!
And half of them are for Get Bent on this one.
Yeah. Oh my god!
I can't wait. All right, here we go. I got some decent ones today. All right, this is on my Castle 110 video. This individual says, I would have to disagree with your philosophy on why you are comparing these two machines. Craig has a $100 option, and the Foreman is currently going faux $450. The Castle 110 starts at $660 and tops out at $850. I don't consider any of these in the same price range. Let's talk about that.
Didn't you say on the video that there was a price change from the time you recorded the video?
The exact words were, currently the Foreman is $450, and at the time of recording this video,
yeah,
the Castle 110 is $450, and that was an accurate statement. And it was also a precursor because I knew the price was going up because Castle had told me the price was going up. But I guess he missed that part. I guess he missed the part that I said. Oh, and then he had to throw in the Craig has a $100 option. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You said that.
That's why I didn't compare it to it.
Yeah. Most DBs I know are deaf.
Selective hearing.
Oh, this is a good one. This is on my this is on my Castle Joints video, which I haven't had a comment on in a very long time. That was a good video. He says, I only watched your video for a few seconds, but stopped it because the audio quality was so poor. Sorry. Did you have to apologize for being an a-hole?
Yeah. Number of subscribers, him and his hand.
Yeah. Oh, this
or
is...
his mom.
All right, I'll do two...
I support you, Steven. I support you.
I support you.
I got a few more that are short. This one was on my Harvey 6-month review. This individual just says, feels like Harvey's decides where your dust collection go. Okay.
Jesus.
What?
What I think he was referring to is because of where the inlet is, they're basically limiting where you can put it and telling me where I can put it.
Put it? Yeah.
This was on my recent one, how to make simple drawers. The quarter thing.
The new one recently.
Yeah. This person says, first thing is not setting the blade height. First thing is getting the right width for the dado stack. Thank you. What I want to respond to him with and be like, well, be sure that you put that in your video demonstrating how to do it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he could do that with his hand.
It's like, well, technically, the first thing would have been walking out into the garage and turning on the lights, and then taking 13 steps to my assembly table to grab my camera, and then push my camera into the place where I start filming. If I should just be an a-hole and just like go through every single step up to that point. 75th point would be to establish the correct width of the dado. Just make it like a 13 paragraph comment. All right, this is the last one I'm going to read. This is the Bloom undermount drawer slides. This individual states, to locate the position of the locating pins in the rear of the slide, just install the drawer and lightly slams it a few...
Lightly slams it.
Just give it a few light slams and it'll indent the wood and that will show you where you need to put it.
That's exactly what he says.
What a DB.
What I like to do before I cut my sheet goods, I like to take a machete and just beat the living crap out of it, score a couple marks, Don't even have to worry about the grains or the fibers breaking.
It's kind of like those guys who say, I don't scribe my fillers, I just jam them into the wall.
Yeah.
I break the sheetrock.
I break the
smash
who
it
cares? And then I cock it in.
Look, it looks good.
Oh my God. Hey, and I don't even have a video on it.
Let me finish the rest of it. The last part is great. I got to read that one part again. Just install the drawer and lightly slams it a few times, and the pins will leave an interference mark. Then drill your hole. No need for an expensive jig. He's referring to like the $8 Rockler jig that is used specifically for Bloom undermount drawer slides, and it actually makes it very, very easy.
What a dink.
I mean, he has a valid point. You can do that, but
you could.
Yeah, you absolutely can. But why not?
You could also drive your car off a cliff. But
why not just do everything at once and then just put my drawer in?
I just like to slams it in there.
Yeah.
What a dink.
Nothing like slamsing it in there.
Slams it in there, man.
Honestly, I think that's my favorite part about the Get Bent segment is not reading so much the negative comments, but reading the comments exactly the way that they are written.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Viva la spell check, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That is absolutely my favorite.
Gotta love grammar.
Yeah. What mean grammar?
What mean words and conjugation?
Do you think some of these guys got a wicked buzz on when they're typing this stuff?
No, I think they're just legitimately stupid.
Yeah.
Or very unhappy.
Jesus.
You know what I love? I love getting comments now because people do it on Instagram more than YouTube, but I've gotten a few on YouTube, and they'll write something and they'll purposely kind of be rude about it, but then they'll always follow it up with, I hope I don't end up on Get Bent. So that I like that because that means that people are listening to it and then they enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that I noticed on the Woodworking for Beginners group is the post where it's just a piece of furniture or whatever it is that is just egregiously made. Like there was a post today where this person took a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and took some 4-inch posts, put it underneath, and drilled straight through the 3/4 inch into the post, like from the top. So going through the sheet good into the end grain, and that was it. No stretchers, no aprons, no other type of joinery. And like that post, or at least the time that I saw it, had hundreds of engagements. And you go and look at someone else's post. Someone made some floating nightstands or something like that. Miter corners, really clean, looks really great. Had maybe 3 likes on it. And they were posted around the same time. So it's like people gravitate towards things that replicate their own, I don't know if it's like skill level or like eye for detail or whatever. It's just like people that make those types of content, make those types of comments are likely not very good woodworkers. You know, I don't know, just anytime that someone says it, because I can't imagine someone that is good at the craft making negative comments.
Or
I just can't imagine.
spellers.
I just can't imagine that. Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting is when I post certain things on Instagram, specifically Instagram, really good example of that is the bandsaw video I just reposted again, where I was cutting the dominoes. I had the blade guard too high. I wasn't, and it shot it like destroyed the
Oh yeah,
plate, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I did that again just to see like what kind of dumb comments I would get on that one. Because the first time I did it, I showed it to show everybody like, hey, don't be an idiot like me. I was being lazy. I knew this could happen because it's happened before. I rightfully knew this. I should have not been doing this, and it bit me in the butt. But I want to share it with you guys so you guys can see what it looks like. That way you know. I got all kinds of people. And it's funny because back then when I was looking, I would actually, like Sedge, like you do on YouTube, go to their page. I don't do that on YouTube because most people on YouTube are not creating content for that, whatever. But if you're on Instagram and you're following a bunch of woodworking accounts, I would assume that on Instagram you're sharing pictures of your stuff. The majority of the people that left stupid comments or talked about how dumb I was or all the mistakes I was making, all that stuff, you go look at their page, and if it wasn't private, they don't have nothing about woodworking on their page. But yet they're these subject matter experts on safety. And it happened again on this video, but I think I only got like 1 or 2 dumb comments, and 9 times out of 10 there are people that aren't even following me. Yeah. So it got fed to them because of the algorithm. It was popular, got tons of engagement. I mean, I must have gotten a bajillion comments on it. Yeah. And I looked at one today, and dude doesn't even follow me, has no woodworking on his page, nothing. Yeah. But he's telling me,
but
what
he slams his drawer into the slide.
Yep. Slams it.
Slams it. Sorry, man. That just got me.
No, like I said, I'm just convinced that those people are just really either completely terrible at woodworking or they don't even do it, and they're just looking for a way to punch at somebody.
I also truly believe that there's people out there that just get on these platforms just to do that. Like that's
absolutely. It's like an outlet.
I'm convinced. Have you ever tried to sell anything on Facebook Marketplace?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How
many times have you gotten, is this still available? And immediately responded to that individual, like immediately, and said, yes, it's still interested, and then nothing. Crickets.
Every time.
Yeah, every time. How Craigslist is.
I truly believe that there are people out there that what they like to do in their free time is just get on Marketplace and ask people if things are available and then just ghost them.
And they're like,
Swear to God.
I sent them the question.
Because if you look at Facebook Marketplace, there is a preloaded, is this still available?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Yeah, they just hit it.
You just hit it, and there's a lot of weenies out there, man.
Or there's people that commit. I've had this problem when I sell tools all the time. There's people that I want it. Okay, well, I'll hold it for you. When can you come here? Oh, I can come in 2 hours. 2 hours goes by. Hey, man, what's the deal?
I don't.
So yeah, my car broke down, and I'm waiting for my brother to come pick me up. I should be there in 45 minutes. 45 minutes goes by. Yeah, and they just keep making excuses, and then at the end of the day, like they're never there. I've had that happen to me more times than I can count.
Yeah, it's a part of the game. Definitely a part of the game.
Yeah, I'll tell them I'm not going to hold it. I have 3 other offers. You can meet me at this time in a Lowe's parking lot. Boom.
I'll meet you in a Lowe's parking lot.
I don't even do that. There's a McDonald's like 2 minutes away from my house, and I'll just tell them, hey, meet me here at this time, and that's it. And like if they actually show up, they're like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't have to deal with what you do with Jason. It's like if they're there, they're not. And
I don't rearrange my day. I don't.
No, absolutely not.
Any of it. And they'll say, hey, and I'll say, no, I'm not going to be there. Yeah. And one lady said one time, hey, I'm driving through. Can you meet me? And I went, nope.
Yeah.
I was in Rhode Island. I ain't gonna meet her. So it's
All right,
cool.
Let's do our shout out. And
Ooh.
then wrap this bad boy up.
Rap.
Yep.
You want me to go?
Sure.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so I'm gonna call out this gentleman because he is a gentleman. I don't think we've named this guy or shouted him out. His name's Philip Morley.
Oh wow! I can't believe we haven't done that.
I know. And I'm going to spell it out because you can find him on Instagram at Philip Morley Furniture. But it's Philip is spelled with one L. He also is a teacher at Austin School of Furniture. And he is, I don't want to say he's an up-and-comer because this guy is where he needs to be, man. This guy can design. His designs are phenomenal. He's an Englishman, but he's also a Texan now. He teaches at Mark Adams now, and he was on the cover of Fine Woodworking. And he is I met him. He's in Austin, and I met him at Rubio. Didn't know who he was. Found out really quick. This guy's got wicked chops. An incredible craftsman.
Very talented.
And he's helped me out a couple of times. I just want to call him out. Everybody should follow this guy. He's cool. Real cool guy.
Good follow.
Absolutely. Yep.
Ben, do you want to go?
Yeah, so mine is more of a thank you to Eric from Eric Barber from Barber Design and Build. Yeah. He ordered my the little assist shelf that I started selling on my Etsy. Like as soon as I posted it, within an hour he'd ordered one. So just wanted to thank him for ordering that, being the first person to order it. So thanks, Eric.
And Eric, thank you. You ordered a Wicked Shop T-shirt from Sedge Tool. Thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate the support.
Yeah, and you're a patron. Thank you, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just going to assume that Eric has also purchased something from Jason Bent. Thank you.
I mean, if you purchased it from the two of you, obviously he would have already done me because
he's wicked cool, man.
Well,
I don't know if he knows, but I'm Jason Bent. So
you guys are both making me look bad. Because you know all of your orders specifically, and I'm just like, yeah, I got some orders today. Speaking of that, man, I don't know what it is. The last few days,
yeah, it's been popping. You've been getting a lot of orders in.
I've had like 4 just since we've been on this podcast.
It's almost like this really attractive person wrote a bunch of articles for your website.
Yeah, I don't know. Needs to write some more. We still got to talk about that. Damn it! All right.
Yeah, no.
Here is mine. This is on Instagram. It is Little Wonton Workshop.
Yes.
And
yes,
I did not know that he was such a festival fanatic. And I found that out the other day. But, Ben, are you familiar?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at it right now.
He's in Australia.
Yeah, we talk pretty often. I think he just recently got the Harvey Dust Collector too. But, man, I love his shop. If you look at, his 7th picture, that wall.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
The pegboard, and I love those cis pull-out cabinets, and it just looks really clean. I like it.
Yeah.
We did a Sedge Tool live last year at 12 noon, and he was on it. It's midnight in Australia.
Oh, nice.
It was unbelievable. What a super duper guy, and a good craftsman. Good craftsman.
He's got one of those big old slider table saws too. It's
fancy
a
table,
Felder K540.
It's a very clean looking saw, man.
God, that thing is sweet.
Yeah, he does a lot with those hydraulic lifts, which is really cool for his workstations. Super smart guy. Yeah.
I was having an interesting conversation with somebody the other day. I can't remember who it was now, so I apologize. But he was asking me if I'd ever considered one of the 5 or 3 to 5 tool combo machines from Hammer. You know, where it's the sliding table saw, the shaper, the joiner planer combo, all in one printer.
The Shopsmith?
No.
Yeah.
No. Far
That's a really
from
good
it.
piece of equipment,
Yeah.
from what I hear.
And I told him, I said, no, maybe if I had the space, that'd be kind of cool. And I have my own opinions on sliding table saws and in terms of like if you're not using it as a slider, how inconvenient or convenient it could be. But anyways, I started doing some research on it because he made a comment to me and said, well, have you ever thought about it in terms of taking all of those tools and putting them in one footprint and getting rid of all the separate tools? And I was like, because there's so much dead space. Like my joiner planer, my table saw, and my bandsaw, they're all right next to each other in a little tool cluster. But there's a lot of wasted space in that area because of the standoff you need for the separate tools.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started thinking about it. I'm like, that's actually a really legitimate point. Like putting all three of those major tools all connected to each other.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is like, obviously then you're changing everything over every time you need to use one of those tools. But on the flip side of that, it could actually, well, it could improve the methods in which you do things, right? Instead of like me being all willy-nilly and like, oh, I'm going to do this and then I need to cut, oh crap, now I need to cut this one piece because I forgot, like actually going through a process.
It makes you
I'm
more
going to do all of these things first, then all of these things.
More
then all of
deliberate
these
with
things.
with your processes,
So anyways, I just thought that was interesting because like if I was to sell my table saw, the joiner planer combo, and I'm not saying I'm going to do this, and my router table or something like that, I would probably have enough money between those three machines to get one of those machines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting. I never thought about it like that. I'm like, oh, and I don't have all the space for the slider and all that stuff. They're like, well, if you didn't have all these other tools, you just had all of those things in one small footprint. Just thought that was interesting. Anyway, we're rambling. See, this was a good episode. We came into it with a topic in mind, but look how many other topics we covered tonight, guys.
What did we talk about?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember either.
No, Ben was just going blah 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 blah. I'm Hans.
I just know Hans was cooking sausage.
Yeah,
that's right. It's the bratwurst.
No, but I like it. This was three dudes BSing. You know what I mean?
Three dudes, one pod.
3 dudes, 1 pod.
Trademark that. Let's make that a T-shirt.
All right. So
Green
we good,
Suitors
Jason?
Hey, Green Suitors Podcast. 3 dudes, 1 pod.
3 dudes, 1 pod.
And we have a picture of the little stick figures, 3 guys in like some sort of like spaceship pod.
No, 3 peas in a pod.
Also a good idea.
Also good.
He obviously doesn't get the reference.
3 dudes, and then there's like a cup on the floor, and we're all looking at it.
Yeah, like we get a pea.
Or,
That's it.
And we're in a friggin' pea pod.
And there's like a little emoji on the cup.
We're just standing around it with our hands on our hips looking at
3
a cup.
peas in a pod.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Jason, where can everybody that's made it this far find you?
BentsWoodworking.com.
Sedge, where can we find you?
SedgeTool.com.
And you can find me at Marshall Design Works, which is still shut down. Yeah, find me on YouTube and Instagram at Ben Marshall Designs. But thanks to everybody that's listened to this episode and every other episode. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure that if you're listening to this on free feeds or if you're a patron, you leave us a review, leave us a rating wherever you listen to this particular podcast. Until the next episode, we bid you all adieu.
Later.
I said adieu.
Cheers.
Later.
Juicy. Hey, this has been co-host and editor of the Green Suitors Podcast. This episode is over, but if you want to hear more topics like this and you want to be a part of our conversation, head over to patreon.com/Green Suitors Podcast for early access to each show. If you're listening to this on free feeds, be sure to leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.